Alphonse? Why are you here? Last I heard, you disappeared at Formido. Are you alright? I'm fine. So how'd you end up here? Many soldiers were wounded by undead creatures in the forest of Grillis. Because of the confusion, we had no choice but to retreat. The enemy's been saying that someone's after them. They must have been talking about you. Tell me, what exactly are they looking for, and what is your true mission? I don't care what happened as long as you're safe. Come back and we'll talk. I'm sorry, but I can't do that, Richter. This woman saved my life at Formido. I am in her debt. Please forget about me. I have no intentions of returning. Are you out of your mind? You're a member of the Order of the Sacred Flame. Listen, Alphonse. You're smart and you have the potential to grow stronger. When I become the next Duke of Fellis, I want you to be my right-hand man. I will govern and you will head up the country's defenses. If you want, I will make you the head of the Knights. You're vital to the future of Lodis. I appreciate your offer, but my destiny lies elsewhere. Keep in mind, he's telling this to a 14-year-old. I may not yet know exactly what my future holds. I mean 15. Alphonse is 15. But I intend to find out. You've been a true asset to us. I want to rule Fellis, and with your help, bring stability to Lodis. I've been thinking about this for some time, but... Did you plan on leaving all along? That's not it, Richter. I need to discover what I can accomplish on my own, without the help of my family, my status, or you. What did that woman say to you? Do you even know who she is? Let me ask you something then. Why are you here? We came here in search of the White Fang troops, but instead, at this late hour, we find you sneaking around with this spy of the church. That's because... I know who you are. You're a member of the Hand of the Pope. What is the church plotting? To restore power to the Pope? Plotting? You make my work sound so ugly. My mission is to do the Lord's will. What more can I do? The Hand of the Pope obeys the Pope and Filar without question. I've dedicated my life to them. Then why don't you pursue your goals openly? God sees all, including your dubious ways. And what about you? If your mission was to halt the White Fang troops, then why are you here? Silence, woman. Your miserable life was saved by the mercy of Lodis. How dare you vulgar people talk to me like that? I'm sorry, but there's no point in talking to you now. There's no getting through that thick skull of yours. You infuriate me. Alphonse, I suppose you're on their side too? What are you saying? Didn't you hear what I said? I am here of my own will. Please understand, Richter. Your own will? You must be dreaming. You let the current be your guide. Only you convince yourself that it's the path you've chosen. Even meeting this woman was just coincidence. This is your last chance to rejoin us. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to have such high expectations for you. Alright, that's it. I can't stand people who try to manipulate history from the shadows. If you want to... I accidentally skipped the line. If you want to go with her, then go ahead. But if you get in my way, don't expect any mercy. We'd better hurry if Vernaculus has its eyes on the Western Sea. After we find a boat, we'll head down to the Rana Sea and find the mermaid sanctuary. I heard the leaders lived for over 400 years. She must know something about the sacred spear. Are you listening? I am, but there is no way you can sail in this rain. Are you still concerned by what he said? Then start taking responsibility for your actions. That's why you're always treated like a child. Listen, you can't have freedom without bearing the responsibility. People have the right to choose their actions freely, but they are responsible for the results of those actions. Freedom, responsibility. Understand, you declined his offer. There's a possibility that he'll become your enemy, but you have to face reality and accept that fact. I don't want to. No, I can't fight with Richter. Then why did you refuse him? You could have gone with him. I had no choice. I had no choice, you say? You're so naive. You don't understand. Of course not. I'm not a mind reader. But I do know you made it clear that you won't be going back. You have no place to return to anymore. I don't know what to do, but I had to speak truthfully. We can't relive the past, but we can start anew. Time waits for no man. The past has led you to the present, but you build your own future with choices today. Throughout your life, you will face many difficult decisions. There's no right or wrong, just paths that lead to different futures. And oh boy, how right she is. Game-wise, in this case. That's all the advice I can give you. Cybil, why did you become a member of the Hand of the Pope? No reason. I was a war orphan sent to Gallius at 6 and educated to become a member. Now, I've dedicated my life to serving the Church. So, that's the life you choose? Yes. Regardless of what I hoped for, I had to make choices from the options available to me in my environment. I am here right now as a result of those choices. Listen, your birth, your status, these things are part of your environment. They're what you've been given. People strive for the things they want and give up on things they don't want. Choosing not to decide is still a choice. Looks like he's here. So, are you able to take us to the Rana Sea? The currents outside of Yema Bay are complicated. Besides, it's the stormy season now. Even if you bypass these hazards, you still have to navigate around the sunken rocks in Rana. I'm sorry, but we can't help you. What if we wait until the ocean calms down? You said you're looking for the mermaid sanctuary? Listen, don't be foolish. Don't take the sea, or the mermaids, lightly. They're monsters. They tempt men with their beauty and their singing, and then drag them into the sea. We had such an incident last summer. We have rules for our safety. But you outsiders think you can solve everything with your money and your logic? Let it go, Cybil. They're just thinking of their own safety. Alright, thanks for your cooperation. If you want to meet the mermaids that badly, then capture one. She'll call for help and others will come. Then follow them to the sanctuary. I must be on my way. Please don't hold a grudge against me. Well, let's find ourselves a mermaid. What do you mean? Weren't you listening? If we capture a mermaid and wound her, she'll call for help. I actually don't remember the wounding part. Then we'll follow them to the leader. Hold on. I'm not so sure about this. The mermaids have nothing to do with your treasure hunting. How can we use them like that? Then tell me, Alphonse, what should we do? The sea is endless. We are powerless to it. We need a practical solution, and that's the best idea we've got. Save your sympathy. Unless you can think of another way. Otherwise, follow my orders. And this is a very important turning point, and the reason why I said it might be a good idea to suspend your game so you can refight that boss. This decision right here. Decision A leads to the potential of endings A, A+, C, and D. B leads to the potential endings of B, C, and D. You notice that you can commonly get C or D with either ending. However, I will be showing both paths. In fact, I will be displaying alternatively path A, path B on a daily basis. So one day it will be A, next day it will be B. So just keep that in mind. I also have slightly different end parties planned for each path. So we'll see that as we go along. And it involves some potentially secret characters, so I'm not going to reveal too much. Anyway, first I am going to show the dialogue with Path A, then I will show the dialogue with Path B, and once the story information is out of the way, I will show a secret and end the episode. Anyway, here we go. I don't have a better idea, but still, I can't agree to that. Then find another way. If you get the information on your own before it reaches the enemy, then your debt to me will be repaid, and I will release you from my service. Alright, I promise you that I'll return with the information you seek. It's still raining. The savage winds still rage. They may not subside for some time, Alphonse. What will you do now? We'll head towards the Rana Sea through Bison. Bison? The paradise of the beasts? It will be difficult to pass through the swamp. I know, but there is one advantage. No one would ever suspect that we'd go through there in this rain. Besides, no one will be able to trace our footsteps either. I see. We had better prepare for fighting in those conditions. Ivanna, why did you decide to come with me? Don't you want to avenge your father's death? The White Fang troops have a hand in all this. My father must be plotting something. My uncle must be plotting something. I cannot read. Anyway, I think it's best to stay with you for now. Don't get me wrong. I want to know the truth of my father's death. But I want to help you too. Why? I don't know. My sword instructor used to tell me that destructive power can never win against protective power. I became a knight to protect Ranunculus, but after meeting you at Vespa, I decided to fight alongside you and your comrades. Thanks, Ivanna. Let's get going. Because of the storm, traveling by sea is out of the question. Crossing the swamp is our only alternative. And that is the beginning of Path A. We open up Bison. Give me one moment and I will load up my save state and show you the alternative Path B. Alternatively, it doesn't seem right. I won't obey you anymore. You never explain yourself, and I'm tired of listening without question. I'm not your puppet. However, I will repay my debt to you. I'll find the sanctuary on my own and return with details on the spear. All right, I'll trust you. But there's no time to waste. Got it? Yes, and afterwards, we part company. It's still raining. The savage winds still rage. They may not subside for some time, Alphonse. What will you do now? Ivanna, have you heard of the Temple of Safrier? Yes, it's off the tip of the Numida Peninsula. I heard that it sank into the ocean because of geologic instability. In fact, Yema Bay was supposedly once a lake. I see. So the Temple of Safrier is located near Yema Bay. I've heard that after the temple sank into the sea, an underwater cave connecting Ansur and Tinea was discovered. I'm considering going to the Arena Island by that route. I heard there are many beasts that dwell inside. Don't you think it's too dangerous? I know, but if there's a chance, I want to give it a try. Is that the only reason? What do you mean by that? Aren't you still meditating on Richter's words? That's true. I'd like to speak with Richter again, but don't worry about me. I'm fine. I haven't forgotten about my promise to Cybil. I have no intention of rejoining my former comrades. I see. Richter may know something. Ivanna, why did you decide to come with me? Don't you want to avenge your father's death? The White Fang troops have a hand in all of this. My uncle must be plotting something. I think it's best to stay with you for now. Don't get me wrong. I do want to know the truth of my father's death, but I want to help you too. Why? I don't know. My sword instructor used to tell me that destructive power can never win against protective power. I became a knight to protect. Wow, I ended that as a sentence. I became a knight to protect Renaculus, but after meeting you at Vespa, I decided to fight alongside you and your comrades. Thanks, Ivanna. Let's go settle the matter with your friend, and then we'll fulfill your agreement with Cybil. And that is the beginning of Path B, leading to Safrier. Now, I said that I would show you a secret. Give me one moment just to make sure that I have everything prepared. Now, the secret that I promised is, interestingly, in Vespa Hill. Now, basically, anytime between Vespa Hill and beating either Safrier for Path B or Bison for Path A, go to Vespa again, and you have a special encounter. This is the first time that you can actually encounter the tiny fairy in this stage. I'm just going to quickly look at the map here. You're going to run across 2 enemy fairies. For the first time, 2 enemy goblins. Now, since goblins are recruitable, I will not show their stats at this time. And 3 enemy griffins. Now, the special character is Glycinia. She is a guest for this map. And that's not what I wanted to show. I wanted to show her equipment. Now, Glycinia is part of a quest, basically. You can recruit her now if you want. She comes with a short bow, an ice chain, and a glass pumpkin. The dragon gem, I actually can't remember off the top of my head if you get to keep that or not. But you get her at level 8, and she joins your army at the end of the battle because she is looking for somebody. In fact, that's why she is in this field being ambushed. However, like I said, I'm not going to go for her right now. However, I just wanted to show this to you. But that is the end of today's episode, so this is Draco Breach reporting out. God bless and safe travels.